Da, 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 da. Oh my goodness. So glad to see so many of you here. Good evening. Ah, very glad to see so many of you here. Glad you could all make it. Now. As said on the little blurb, this is not your regularly scheduled programming. Something very different, very different. And you know, I had some time before the stream started, so I got together some funny little assets. That's the general gist, anyway. So I'm sure you're all wondering what brings us here tonight at this very late hour, especially for some of you. Dearest Loot, dearest Doll, dearest Sasa, dearest Sludge. Welcome, welcome. So, I've had this idea sort of brewing around in my mind for a little bit now. But I wanted to sort of talk about all the different things that I foresee, I suppose. Things we plan, the things that we want to change and want to keep, such and so. Right. Well, to start this off, I have a little bit of. It could be a little dramatic to call it bad news. It's not especially bad news, it's just a bit more of a change. The first thing I want to say is that more and more I find myself less interested in telling the story of the monolore. You know, I tell many jokes about how esoteric and obscure it all is, and that's all very fun, and working on it is good practice. But there's many parts of it which I have noticed in retrospect are potentially contradictory, and I've had to make various revisions and retcons, some of which I have not really mentioned outright because they just bother me so much. Things like issues with the underlying ARG, which was used to learn more about the monolore, was the idea, and to learn the secret, the secret, the secret, which was what created Akra and Or, what made them separate from the Dragon of Kelebod and create the three instead of the one. There's, of course, an issue with this, a very intrinsic issue. I'm not sure if any of you have noticed, but I have been forced to. This fact is that if the secret is ever discovered, it has already been established in the lore that if this secret is ever revealed, the whole truth of it, then Akra and Or would cease to exist. And I don't think anyone really wants that. I'm speaking from I suppose, a third point of view when I say this. Or the character very much would like the secret to be revealed. For Or's focus is on truth, and the obfuscation of truth is the highest heresy to the being born of it. So I kind of don't want to go forward with that plot point, and that's just one thing. There's other parts of the lore and the specifics which I have grown to dislike a little bit. So this is what I'm saying is I intend to distance myself more from telling the monolore, but instead I want to tell other stories. I want to tell other stories in other worlds, factual and fictional. Blur the line. That sounds fun to me. And that always stays fresh. And with that, I can be as esoteric as I'd like. I want to tell short stories, long stories, medium stories, everything in between. And that's sort of the general gist of what I'm planning to go forth with. I don't plan on completely abandoning the monolore exactly, but, well, for instance, I think my most high quality entry into the monolore was the Old House video, the Old House mystery. And so I go through it a few times and I'm imagining myself as a new viewer trying to solve it. And I realize, yes, it was a delight. I thank you very much for lending yourself to it. I kept watching it uh, to imagine myself as someone trying to solve the mystery. And it does occur to me that there is some. I intended for all the clues necessary to solve the mystery to be within the video itself, and technically they are, but not realistically. Realistically, you need a bit of a wider understanding of the universe that Mono exists in just to even know what a worm really is. It's explained in the video that they're digital constructs, but they're a bit different from that. They're closer to angels than anything else, or demons, whichever one you consider. But they all have their own unique kinds of innocence, I suppose, is the root of it. And you can figure out what's wrong with the old house mystery, but it definitely helps if you, I suppose I could say, if you've read page 36. And if you've read page 36, you'll probably know what I mean. If you have not, then that is yet again another piece of obscure information. But yes, I want to tell more stories. And not just with my velvety, perfect voice, but with other mediums. The only thing I really can't decide is which mediums to go through. I've been writing a lot. I've been writing a lot of things. I've been planning lots of things. I've been essentially trying to make a story that writes itself. I've been trying to write a story of a mortal being's ascension or descension to a divine status. Many stories. I've been writing a story about a global conspiracy, a global psychic conspiracy in which the collective unconscious uh, obtains a a sort of cybernetic parasite. Lots of fun stories. And lots of things in the works. It's telling all of them that's the tricky part, in the way that I want. And so I'm sure I will enlist the help of some of my good friends here. I also generally find myself wanting to mix up my content more. You know, change things around. Maybe do a little game show here and there. I can call it, let's see. I'm trying to think of a joke about OST, but oh, I know. I'll start a podcast, an interview podcast called Deadly Discussions, and we'll finally have our second episode where we interview the conductor again. No, no. And I want to try fresh new things. I've been thinking about doing more collabs, of course. Every VTuber wants to do more collabs. That's what we always say. But, you know, it's true. I'm thinking up ideas for ways that I could create more unique collaborations. I want to find more ways of being creative within this space. That's sort of the root of this, I suppose. I feel stagnant, and stagnant water is not healthy, not to drink from, and definitely not to be. Our motto is to be ever changing. Still water. Still water. Yes, still water. Throw something in. Whoop. This is for those who know. Indeed, indeed. Oh, my microphone might be a little quiet. If so, I apologize for that. Let's see. I have a pretty short itinerary of things I wish to talk about. I suppose, oh yes, there was that thing. I also intend to do more gimmicks or scripted segments. That sounds fun to me, so I want to try it out. Oh my goodness. Hello, Mehdi. Welcome in. Welcome to Sheol. Welcome to Local 18, my very original channel. And it works so well. Mono TV, monochrome television, bada bing, bada boom. I might keep this format for a little bit. Maybe change it up here and there. We'll see, won't we? But that sounds fun to me, you know? Maybe I'll make my own version of No Through Road, where it's me calling you forth into the forest. Come on down to Mount Sabalon. Oh, that's another one. Here to lurk and listen to the lovely voice while on lunch break. Very good. I suppose that's something. I can tell you a little bit about some of the stories I have in the works. There is that there's a few global conspiracies now I think about it. But the first one is, I suppose I haven't really given it a formal, oh no, I have. The first one is called Blackout. And it's another ARG type thing. I'm trying to make a better ARG with what I've learned from my past ones. One where the information is more freely given. That sort of idea. But also, you know, what I want to reward more than solving binary codes or going to QR codes or doing things with other codes or putting something through a Caesar cipher, what I want to do instead with Blackout is leaving it all to be conducted in the mind. You're given all the information, and then if you put it together, you learn more. You learn information that was hidden before. That's the idea of what I want to do with Blackout. And I've been working on that one. Dearest Sasha, you've seen some of that. That's the ITU leaked file that I've been working on. Plan on changing that one around a little bit though. Then there's Mount Sabalon, which is another. It's definitely very local 58 inspired. Uh, and Mount Sabalon is a story about a national park called Mount Sabalon, just south of Yellowstone. And its history of missing cavers. Where that leads, we'll have to show you. Very fun ideas. That one I plan on mostly doing through 3D animation. I want to see how far I can go with that. I want to test my limits, you know? That sounds fun to me. Let's see. What other ones have I been cooking up? There's the Spiral War, although that's a very big work in progress right now. Oh, yes. My Little Black Book is a series I've been working on for quite a while. I have a few episodes of it planned out already, but I've just not really executed them yet. That will be a treat to look forward to. So there we go. 3 fun little projects I have planned for the future. And when I'm showing them off, it will always be as or. Because it occurs to me. And this is something. Before doing this stream, before announcing this and all, I was planning to completely re-debut with a new model and everything because I wanted to completely redo the brand that I've already established as a symbol of the direction I intend to move towards instead of my older content. But I ended up deciding against that when I realized how underutilized the character of Or is, and just how fitting Or is for the things that I want to do. So this is why I'm here. In fact, let me get a little closer. Not that close. So, whenever I finish up some episodes for Mount Sabalon, My Little Black Book, or Blackout, I will premiere them here on Twitch. Then they'll appear over on YouTube or such on the Monochrome TV channel for archival purposes. And so people can watch through them and have loads of fun, right? That's the idea. That's the idea. And I do have to admit, this saves me a lot of trouble if I was going to re-debut from making a whole set of new assets. But yes, those are my plans. What do you all think? Are you excited for these in the future? Did you want to see more focus on the mono lore instead of these news stories? Is there something else you'd like to see me do? I know that very excited, absolutely. That is good to hear. I know that my ASMR reading of the CIA documents ended up getting sort of indefinitely postponed. I'll have to revisit that one as well. Maybe I'll have some fun with that one too. We'll see, won't we? Ah, well, this is rather fun, isn't it? I'm very glad that I put this all together. Kind of don't want to go yet, though. I mean, we've just got started. It's only been 26 minutes. I know what my little rhyme said, but I suppose, do any of you have any questions, concerns, or the like? And I'd be willing to answer any of them. Uh, but again, this is very short notice. You might not have any that come to mind. If you do think of anything, of course, feel free to DM me. I'm always happy to have a message in my inbox. Makes me feel popular, you know. Hmm. I feel like there was something, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Hmm. I have other things planned in the works, but I suppose nothing to announce quite yet. And I may take all of your silence as saying that none of you have any pressing questions that you need answered right away. So I think for now, we might head off. This was always intended to be very short. I could launch up, start playing a game, but that's not really what this was for. Another time. Oh, hello, Keliosi. Welcome in. Yes. Colon 3. Very good. Well, Kelly, congratulations on claiming the devil's fingers, but unless you were lurking, you've arrived right at the end. Or, I'm going to leave it until we hit the 30-minute mark, just for fun. And I have one last thing to show off. You've been lurking? Alright, alright. One last thing to show off. I'll see you all around. Thank you very much for supporting community television.